So this is chapter 3, separation and stress into the transpersonal. And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean and how it's going to help you. We have 5 external senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, touch, and smelling. Arguably, we have 4 internal senses. There's interoception, how you feel into the muscles, the fascia of your body. We've got the gut brain, which gives you 2 key tones. We've got the electromagnetic sense, based in the heart, and this is science-based now, that the heart is the most electromagnetic organ in the body, and it's pulsing out and interdigitating with the web, the electromagnetic web of the earth, with its negative, positive charge in space and into the earth itself. This is also what we are. And then we have our sense-making, our thinking, which is how we make sense of all those sense fields. So we've got a range of ways that our brain is trying to make sense of the world, using this sensory data, this input from all the senses to make sense out of who we are, what we are, and how we should be in the world. And all of this is focused around our sense of self, with its memories, its narratives, its meaning. And then we have the relational self, who we are in different relationships and how we create other people with our mind. Now, the observational self, the place of awareness and how we see, all of this can be trained. So we have this composite of information, translation, interpretation, and meaning making that makes up what and who we are. We're made of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We're made of water. 70% of it is water. We're made of sunlight, which goes through the leaves of trees to make the glucose that fuels our body and builds our body. Everything in nature is one seamless and unified field. The oxygen goes to every single cell in your body. From the leaves of plants, it goes to every single cell in your body, every single one without exception. Carbon dioxide goes out. Water is in every cell. It's rain, it's rivers, it's a continuous river of water moving through us. It changes structure slightly. It's called bicinal water, but it is continuous. There really is no separation. It's a seamless and unified field. The one, if you like, unified field as the many as the one. Now, stress, arguably, is the experience of being the many against the one, rather than one within the many. Trees are verbs. They're mycelial conurbations. They're weaves of fungus under the ground, connecting tree to tree. They communicate through their leaves. They're a flow of water and earth elements up in this invisible, beautiful process of moving through a trunk and out through the leaves to make clouds. Like everything else, they are process, they are verbs. Now, our ancient biology and our neural architecture, and the ancient biology and neural architecture for all things that move about, that move in the world, make us feel separate. They make us feel distinct, solid, defined, a noun, if you like, when we are also a process, just like trees, just like everything else. DNA and mitochondria are arguably almost eternal, and we are their kind of fleshy dressings as they pass through life form after life form after life form in millions and millions, 500 million years and more of life forms. Mitochondria are the energy-making aspects of our cell. Originally, they were a separate bacterium 3.85 billion years ago. Our DNA are in strings, they move from species to species. So whilst we can be instrumental and responsive, take agency and be authority, and unless we're merely acting out conditions and algorithms, we are also a holon. We are part of the whole. We are also holotropic. As Maslow said, Abraham Maslow, he said we have a self-actualizing principle. We want to know what we are. Right? We are not independent. That's an illusion. Independence is a huge illusion and a place of total stress. You against the universe. We are relational. We are interdependent, interwoven. We are awareness as body as space-time. We are aware space. When we know this from inside, we land in places like trust, gratitude, savoring, really enjoying the micro moments of beauty. And we understand our circle of influence and our circle of concern as different. The circle of influence is what we can change. The circle of concern is what we're concerned about, but we can't actually change because we don't have that level of influence. When we perceive ourselves as separate from everything, and the breath teaches us we're not, then that separation equals stress and it equals the fear of death. Seamlessness equals flow and the acceptance of change. When we understand there's one thing here, and you could think of it as the cosmos, and that which came before it, and we are it, we're not in it, we are it. Recognize this as a visceral experience, resolves stress. When we recognize this seamless whole, from our body base, and the practices we're doing are taking us into that physical, visceral, sensory recognition of the continuity of all the informational web, then stress itself becomes just a tool that we can use to find resilience. The stresses become ways we can pay attention to the edge dance, the separation, continuum, continuity of the skin into the world. This is a powerful and beautiful recognition. It's one that all the yogic teachings of Buddhism and the yoga world and of so many great traditions teach. Because when we recognize that interdependence, that interdependent weave as the reality, and independence and separation as an illusion, and we know that in our brain, we know it in our heart, we know it in our guts and our body, it no longer has power over us. It cannot push us and pull us around in the same way. We find emancipation. That is something worth having. It's something worth understanding. It's something worth knowing deep inside of you. And the breathwork practices eventually, inexorably, beautifully lead you into that knowledge, into that gnosis, into that place. Because the breath is flowing, continuously changing. Inhale into exhale. Exhale into inhale. The transitions between them. The breath is continually pulling oxygen in from all the trees and the plants. All of the cyanobacteria, all the green bacteria in the world are making oxygen all the time. We breathe that in so that we can break down the glucose and the sugars that are made by photosynthesis in those plants. The plants make sugars. We eat the plants, even if we eat animals, it's recycled plants. It comes from the same source, sunlight, moving through chlorophyll in a plant, joining together water and carbon dioxide. It splits the water in two. Hydrogen's joined to the carbon dioxide. Oxygen is given off. We breathe in oxygen. We eat the glucose, the sugars, the fatty acids. Those two come together in our system and we make cellular energy out of that. We are plant powered. We are powered by sunlight, by chlorophyll, by oxygen, by the plants themselves. All of this is how we work in a seamless web. Every single cell of our body, every single cell, except for red blood cells, have mitochondria in them doing this work of breaking down sugars and fatty acids, using oxygen to do that, to create the energy with which we think, with which we feel and emote. All our emotions are driven by this. All our movements are driven by this. Everything in our world is driven by this ATP. And so it is with every living thing. Trees, fungi, all plants, all animals, every living thing like this. So, we can continue living in the illusion of independence and live in the experience of the stress and difficulty that automatically gives, the tension, the innate, inherent intention of that experience, and all that leads to. Or we can relax into connection, into interconnection, into interbeing, into interdependence, into the weave of life. And that relaxation, that softening, that visceral understanding of this interdependent, seamless connection allows us, instead of going into stress, to go into resilience, to go into flow. The wind isn't just there to destroy us, it's there to make us strong, just like the trees. Stress isn't about destroying us. It's about us finding a way of engaging with that to become stronger. That's wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity. And this stepping into the transpersonal, beyond the personal, is about resolving that illusion of separation and understanding interdependence.